Now only on 7, a Beaumont nurse practitioner who worked on the front lines during the early days of the pandemic, returning to the COVID floor at Beaumont Royal Oak Hospital this week, but not as an employee, as a patient. Tonight she's out of the hospital and spoke with 7 Action News reporter Brett Cast about her battle. Brett joins us live in Royal Oak with the message she would like to share. Brett?
Yeah, Simon, as you just mentioned, cases and hospitalizations are still at very high numbers, but so is the number of recoveries. However, this one Beaumont employee says battling that virus is no walk in the park.
I would not want my worst enemy to go through what I went through. It was so scary.
Holly Wiseman is 47, healthy with no pre-existing conditions, and she just wrapped up a 5-day stay in the hospital with COVID-19.
I really was scared for my life because I've never had any breathing problems before, and this literally just takes your breath away.
First it was her husband, then she and her daughter also tested positive the week of Thanksgiving. As both began recovering, she got worse.
I found out that people, when they're diagnosed with COVID, if you're going to get better, you'll be better by like day 5. But about day 6, that's the potential where you can really go downhill. And that's what happened to me.
As her oxygen dropped, Holly's husband took her to the ER at Beaumont Royal Oak, the same hospital where she works as a nurse practitioner and where she spent March and April on the front lines with COVID patients. She thought about those patients who never made it home, wondering if that would be her.
That totally crossed my mind. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be this person that's going to be gasping for my last air. And they're going to be like, should we put her on the ventilator? I don't know. What do we do?
But today, that same floor is not what she remembered, as her doctor, who she recognized, told her right away.
I looked at him and I was like, please don't let me die. And he was like, don't worry, Holly, we know what we're doing now.
Holly was given steroids, oxygen, and remdesivir. While the battle was tough, she got through it and now is sharing her advice for others in that same fight.
If you do get diagnosed with COVID, take care of yourself, really slow down, get your rest, and get a pulse ox if you can, because I believe this really saved my life.
Now that pulse oximeter that Holly was talking about is right here. I actually just went to a pharmacy on the way here and bought one myself. Measures the oxygen in your blood just using your pulse, of course, right here on your finger. And that's how she knew when it was time to go to the hospital. Once that dips below 90 is when you might get in trouble. So knowing what your oxygen level is and knowing when to get to the hospital is important, because the quicker you get treatment, the better your outcome will be. Reporting here in Royal Oak, I'm Brett Cast, 7 Action News.